transition to your question of like, what is factor investing? So, this is something obviously you can geek out. The best way I think about it is if people are familiar with like Moneyball, like basically what happened in Moneyball in baseball and sports, they said, hey, instead of being like the New York Yankees and paying all these analysts all these money to go do interviews and talk to the players and figure out who's good looking and buff or whatever, to pick our baseball team, let's just go look at the data. And let's just identify data that like looks at characteristics of baseball players, and do those characteristics tend to be related to better performance? And let's just not spend all the money on like getting all the scouts and doing all this emotional stuff. Let's just look at the data and what do they actually do and how does that translate to performance, right? That's basically what you're doing with factor investing. You're saying, listen, stocks are like my baseball players, right? Some are cheap, some are quality, some have high momentum, some do this, that, and the other thing. But can we form portfolios in a systematic way that just uses the data on our baseball players to build portfolios that shape different return or outcomes that we might prefer, right? And that's all factor investing is doing. Like, look at the characteristics and then buy, baseball players or stocks that have the characteristics we like to generate a portfolio outcome that we think is more favorable than just buying the generic market, which to your point is also a fine strategy, but sometimes people want something different than just the broad market. Well, that's what factor investing is going to try to do.